My name is Bruce Whyte. I am a hospital chaplain in Southern California area of Los Angeles. I serve as a chaplain because I have a great heart just for human beings outside the church, inside the church. I love serving the community as a whole in the various aspects of the life stages. It also is a touching place because I become a surrogate family member through the best times and of the worst times at the hospital. And oftentimes, in end of life situations, we oftentimes step in as both a pastoral role but also a familial role, being able to sit with spouses, children, aunts, uncles, grandparents, and being able to hear the stories, laugh through situations of life, recalling of history, and preservation of legacy. The journey to become a chaplain is challenging because you learn a lot about yourself and who you are as a person, and where those sore tender spots in your own journey meets up with the sore tender spots of other people's journey. But once you can use that and harness that efficiently and sufficiently, the amount of the work that we can do in our ministry can really expand. The difference between chaplaincy and a local church pastorate is that you definitely have to engage with a lot of different perspectives of life, perspectives of spirituality, and perspectives of faith. I will say I am a pastor of this hospital that serves a multitude community of different faith traditions, different spiritualities, and no spiritualities at all. It allows me to have conversations that are difficult, that are challenging. I don't need to defend my faith. I get to have open and free conversations that allow me to understand the people that I interact with, both in the hospital and outside the hospital, within the congregation, outside the congregation. It gives me space to provide care. It gives me space to provide peace. It gives me space to provide truth telling. One of the ways I offer hope to people in crisis is just that sense of not feeling alone in going through this journey, whatever journey it may be, alone. Whether it's just a sweet, tender voice, or providing a Bible, a prayer, just a word of encouragement in those times of just exhaustion. I find that it makes a lot of difference because it allows them to have space to be themselves, to be human, to be what God ordained them to be in whatever way and capacity it is. And it's also to show that they're not alone in their journey, and to offer just a little bit of reprieve from what they're going through. A good day looks like shared humanity, where we get to have exchanges and conversations as just human beings, not me saying I'm your pastor, I'm your chaplain, but me just coming at a patient, just saying I'm here to just see where you're at today and ways I can provide care and support for you. A bad day looks like unresolved answers to questions that patients may have. Where is God in all of this? Who is God in all of this? Why does God do these things? And why does it have to happen to me? That can signify a bad day, in the sense of there might not be a firm answer, but it can start a journey to finding that answer for themselves. This past couple of years has been really hard on staff and mental health and the feelings of safe in their own workplace. And as chaplains, we provide that safety, we provide that safe space for them to be able to share their grief, share their loss, and also provide comfort. We have a lot of younger nurses, and when the pandemic started, a lot of them were able to lament that the start of the pandemic is not what they signed up for. It also changed the culture of the older nurses and medical workers, some of them retiring before they wanted to, just to avoid that burnout. A particular patient was in the hospital. She thought she was only going to be there for a few days. Turns out she was there for 28 days. And this was over the course of the pandemic. And so she had to celebrate Easter alone. She grew up in a family and she played the organ in her church, a family of pastors. And one of the things that helped cope with that is we talked about music, and particularly Marvin Gaye. And so as a chaplain, I can easily turn from talking about faith and talking about crisis and suffering to talking more about what patients love. There's an external connection, there's an internal connection. I will always connect with patients with music internally. There's always a tempo, there's always a pace, there's always a speed in which interaction goes around. Sometimes it can quicken, sometimes it slows, sometimes I'm an active participant. I can pick up my own instrument. The use of my own story can apply to the patient's story. Externally, I think there's not a lot of spaces in the world anymore where there is a genuine sense of listening. And so if I can provide that at the bedside, whether if they are just venting frustration or venting concerns, the space to have non-familial moments of listening is helpful and provides a lot of sense of feeling heard and validated with what they're going through.